400. Now we go to the start-finish line for those 4 most famous words in racing.
The most famous words in motorsport. They will begin the speed performance in John Elliott. Drivers, start your engine.
40 cars roar to life down on pit road, and the drivers adjust themselves in their seats, getting ready for 400 miles of grueling competition on the 2.5-mile tri-oval Daytona International Speedway. Harry Gant gets set to go. Kindercam, the view that Harold Kinder has as the field is beginning to accelerate through the tri-oval now. Harold is holding them back, telling them to watch their speed. Now the green flag waves, and here we go. What a way to start your July 4th holiday weekend here on ESPN. The flag coverage of the Pepsi 400, formerly known as the Firecracker 400, the first telecast of ESPN here at Daytona Winston Cup race, and the first flag-to-flag coverage ever of this event. They're running pretty much the way they started, with Mark Martin and Bill Elliott running side by side down the backstretch. Elliott pulls out slightly. Now here comes Neil Bonnet and Ken Schrader as Mark Martin drops all the way back to 4th.
Looks like that outside groove is the best groove. The preferred groove is going to be today because they're able to get some momentum up on top of the racetrack. Mark Martin, our pole sitter, back to about 5th spot already. Needs to get to the high side and not the low side.
And we have a spin in turn number 4. At least 2 cars are going to be involved in this crash. It happens at the back of the pack, so not a whole lot of other traffic to be involved. 3 cars become involved. Patty Moise and Grant Adcox are among the 2, and John McFadden also.
That's the car we see up against the wall, the gold car number 24. It's been a while since John has... Well, Patty Moise looks like she got sideways as she came off the turn and spun back out. There's Grant Adcox on the inside in the yellow and the orange car, white and orange car, I should say, as Patty Moise in the car number 45 continues to spin around.
And we'll have it from another angle from the high camera on the Winston Tower. Grant Adcox making just slight contact, it looked like, with Patty, and he's sliding to the inside of the track as McFadden rides the wall in the tri-oval.
I've ever seen it that. He would tell me it's clear you can pull back up, and that's a situation here in Daytona as they come off these corners.
We have a crash in turn number 2, a car sliding down the backstretch. That is the number 90 car. It is being driven by Stan Barrett. This is the Judy Donlevy car, and Stan Barrett has brought along some sponsorship to that car, and in 1989.
Let's don't hope. Let's look at this 3 abreast.
Ooh,
Phil Barkdahl on the inside.
Kyle Petty coming in there. Fellas, don't make it 4 abreast. There's not that much room. Is there room for 3?
Oh, and A.J. Foyt is charging on the outside in car number 14.
Well, I can't stand this. I mean, I quit driving. These guys making me nervous doing.
Ken Schrader from Jerry Punt.
Gentlemen, refresh your memory just a little bit ago. But before the caution flag, Kenny Schrader dove beneath Bill Elliott over in turn 3 and looked like he took the lead very easily. I went over to their crew chief and said, that looked pretty easy. He said, well, we just told Kenny Schrader to go out and lead a lap. So Kenny said, okay, no problems. We just dove down beneath Elliott, pushed the button, and led a lap. And Dale Earnhardt moves beneath the Rick Wilson car, and Wilson fighting back toward turn 1 to take 2nd spot. But Kenny Schrader is indeed very, very strong. Possibly a game of high-speed possum on Ken Schrader. Let's go to Jack Carew. Jack?
Well, Jerry, one driver that's seen this movie in black and white is Rick Wilson, who ran so well at the Firecracker 400 last year. Ron Pittman, you've joined the team this year. He came from 7th. He's battling for that 2nd spot. He ran 2nd. What's the situation in the car? A lot of problems early on here, and now it seems to be running well as Dale Earnhardt rammed into the side of your driver.
The car hit just a little bit loose, but we ought to be able to fix that with tire stagger.
Now, they were talking about tire stagger, and you're going to go up or go down on the stagger?
Close the stagger up.
They're going to try and tighten the car just a little bit more, and hopefully then they can get away from Dale Earnhardt before he does a tattoo much longer on that car.
I'm telling you, these guys are bumping and banging out there like they're at North Wilkesboro on a short track. Wilson and Dale Earnhardt trading paint nearly all the way around the racetrack, battling for that 2nd.
You know, the last time we saw Davey Allison, he was in 19th position. He now is in 11th position, trying to take over 10th.
Oh, and Ken Schrader is in the wall, and Brett Bodine is also involved.
That's in turn 2.
And they're going to save it. Unbelievable that these guys didn't create a terrific crash.
Well, there's one car up against the wall. No caution yet, but let's see. He's still riding the rim around there. You wonder how much debris is flying off of that race car as others go by. No caution yet as they come back, but Ken Schrader's in deep trouble. Caution is out. The caution is out.
That is unbelievable as Schrader got up high, scraped the wall, and it looks like that he may have be in a position to make that 140 flight. Looks like that car may be damaged to the point where he's unable to continue. He's
low on the racetrack, slid all the way up, it looked like, into Ken Schrader.
What happened? Morgan Shepherd got loose going in turn 1. We'll watch it once again, but I think that Morgan Shepherd gets loose going in turn 1. And when he gets loose, he has to go up. This is not the angle I was talking about, but when he gets loose, he has to go up the bank to catch the car. Unfortunately, Ken Schrader was where he needed to go.
He needed that much racetrack up there, and he didn't have that much because Schrader was in a groove that he wanted to be in, actually, and Brett Bodine was caught up there with nowhere to go. Actually, here, let's see it again. Here's Shepherd now sliding up the racetrack. You can see him touch briefly, and now they touch again. Schrader into the wall. There's Brett Bodine. And here is Mark Martin. Look at the move he made. Good move.
He dives to the inside and almost collects Phil Parsons. Well, let's go to Jerry Punch, who's down there, and Rick Wilson, and it looks as if Mark Martin is going to lose the lead. Indeed, he does, as Dale Earnhardt will get credit for that lap. But Mark is fighting back on the outside all by himself in that Ford, and now...
Come on, Rick, get up behind him.
Rick is trying to decide which way to go, and he sort of stays in the middle also.
Take the 6, Rick. We'll get us a good race going here.
No, I think Rick sees that Earnhardt maybe has the hot ticket right now. He's going to go with him.
Down the backstretch, Wilson falls in behind Jeff Bodine. Now he decides to go outside.
Well, I tell you, got to be impressed with Martin, able to stay out there by himself, even though Earnhardt goes into the turn a little bit deeper, goes high, but here comes Martin back on the outside. Boy, they're getting close. Here comes Bodine, making 3 abreast.
All right, now we're going somewhere. No, we touched. I'm sorry, guys.
Mark Martin is spinning to the infield.
And other cars coming on. Can he keep it down on the inside? There's Phil Barkdahl spinning out in front of him.
But unbelievable, guys, that only 2 cars are involved as everybody played heads-up driving and avoided a major catastrophe right here in the starting line.
You're right. The caution is out, but you are right. It is a miracle.
Are you okay, Benny?
This is the doggonest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Unbelievable job of driving by virtually all of the field as Mark Martin, the leader, spun right in front of the main grandstand to the start-finish line, and only Phil Barkdahl lost it, and he is okay and underway once again.
Well, I think that Mark Martin's spin came. Let's look at it again. Here's Earnhardt. It looked like in the middle. He and Jeff Bodine got together a little bit there, and they touched, and evidently Bodine got into Mark Martin just a little bit as he was battling with Earnhardt back there, spinning him around. And look at him come back up in the track there just for a moment. Those cars go by on the outside. He gets the car straightened out again, keeps it down on the grass, and that's Phil Barkdahl out in front. The smoke that you saw out at the end of pit road.
What happens is that Earnhardt touches Bodine,
and Bodine
touches the 6 car, and away we go.
And send him spinning around. And look at the cars that were able to go by on the outside as he spun. Now look, the opening in the traffic, he comes back up there. It looked like it was planned that way, that all those cars got by. They need to go up a little bit. Here comes the other pack. He gets back down on the inside of the track. They all get by. No big major
They're
deal.
running 150 miles an hour while Mark is spinning around in front.
No, I tell you, have you ever seen anything like that before in your life? That's
Never.
a doggone...
Well, there's just not much room for anyone to get out of line. Oh, Terry Labonte and Jeff Bodine came awfully close. Here's Neil Bonte. He's going to get out of line, coming down on the inside.
They're 3 abreast.
Neil Bonte running strong there down on the inside. Davey Allison comes with him.
Phil Parsons makes it 4 abreast as they come down. Unbelievable. There's Jimmy Spencer.
Right in the middle. Can they make it into that turn? Phil, hold on to her down there. He's got it. Spencer goes a little bit high, gets a little loose, but he hangs on to it.
And there's the bumper cam from Rusty Wallace's car. Look at how they touched. Parsons on the inside of the racetrack, right alongside Jimmy Spencer. 3 abreast down through there. Sterling Martin on the outside.
They're all changing a little sheet metal. Benny, you were talking earlier about Kirk.
Stretch. Now, when we had this problem up in turn number 2, notice that Michael Waltrip in the yellow car gets nailed pretty good by A.J. Foyt, and he heads toward the Lake Lloyd area. Now, several have visited that, but not in the... There's Allison leading them down. Here's Bill Elliott. Oh, and we have a problem with Rick Wilson. Wilson has made contact with the wall.
Larry Pearson, I believe, is involved. Here's the other cars.
Harry Gant is among those involved. Dale Jarrett is also. Gant has a sliding race car, and Richard Petty is also going to be involved in this incident as he tries to get the STP Pontiac headed in the right direction. There is Jarrett with a little bit of body damage on that race car. The yellow comes out once again, and there's the damage to the Rick Wilson car, and a tough break for Rick once again.
And Walter closes up on Larry Pearson, and Rick Wilson and Pearson hit, and that's what starts it all right there. The 16 car of Larry Pearson, the car on the right side of the screen, and Wilson in the yellow.
What happened, I think, is someone hit the Larry Pearson automobile. We see the car's already, the wreck has already happened. Rick Wilson, the bright orange car, that's Larry Pearson, the white car. Harry Gant like a top, spinning round and round and round in the Skull Bandit. I don't think Harry made any serious contact with anyone, and I think that's Dale Jarrett. Now here we see Rick Wilson get together with Larry Pearson and Rick head on in the wall, folks. Now this is at 160, 70 miles an hour. He hits the wall head on.
It just turned both cars right into the wall, and of course a tremendous amount of damage. Here's Richard Petty now spinning down on the inside.
And we'll take a look this time at real-time speed from the in-car Richard Petty.
Ooh, right in the back of Harry Gant.
That's what caused Gant to spin around. I know Dale Jarrett was right on Richard Petty's bumper, and I guess that's how he got involved.
With Davey Allison leading, Mark Martin, the draft, they were pulling away.
Neil Bonnet spins.
Neil Bonnet is spinning. Oh!
Well, he almost spun. He hasn't lost it yet. I'll tell you, he did one whale of a job, driving that Sitco Ford number 21.
And who was it that just squeezed by? You
That
know?
was Jimmy Spencer.
Kids came back in 10th place. A car in trouble on the backstretch.
Another smoker. Looks like a car has come in contact with the wall and been in the sheet metal on the right side. That's Bobby Hillen.
Yep.
And he'll be coming into the pits. We'll see if the caution waves from Harold Kinder. I'm not sure it's going to, because the car now is down out of fourth.
Yeah, I think they did touch a little bit there going into turn 1.
Oh, and Lake Speed is
on the roof.
Flipping down the backstretch. The car rolling over several times.
Dave Marcus involved in it. Looked like Jimmy Spencer's car was involved. Here comes Hut Strickland spinning around. Jimmy Means in the back of the pack got by. He'll pick up a bunch of positions.
Lake Speed's car apparently hit the outside wall and just started tumbling down the racetrack. There you can see the very badly damaged Oldsmobile Bullseye barbecue machine on the inside of the backstretch, and the caution out on lap 144.
Wow. This has been something.
We were patiently awaiting for Lake. There's the safety crew coming to Lake's aid, and we hope that he comes out quickly. Car number 5, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet of Jeff Bodine, apparently involved there as well.
A little bit of sheet metal. There's Dave Marcus, who was involved. Tremendous damage there at the front end of his Lumina, but Dave is sitting in the car and appears to be okay. Ernie Irvin was involved. You can see the sheet metal rubbing against the tire on the left front of that machine.
Hut Strickland, we don't know where he went to. We saw him spinning down through there. Dick Trickle has a flat tire right in front of coming in on pit road. He has a flat tire. The front just dragging the racetrack.
Here comes
this is Ernie Irvin in the white car that we see right now. That's him going down pit road.
A lot of damage to the Kroger Pontiac.
Let's take a look at it once again, try to determine what happened.
Well, it looked like Lake Speed was trying to shoot up through the middle there as they were drafting for position, and perhaps got tapped by Sterling Marlin in the blue car behind and shot him into the wall. The car started going over and over, and you can see the car's trying to move around him. There's Dave Marcus, hit him hard. Here's Jimmy Spencer. It looked like down on the inside. He got in on it. And here comes Hut Strickland in the car number 57 sliding out through there.
And from another angle.
I think that Ned said it just right. I think that there was contact between the 83 car and the 94 car Sterling Marlin. And Dave Marcus gave Blake a pretty good rap going down through the grass. And look at the windshields. Look at the debris, the dirt flying from these automobiles. You know, it's hard to watch these shots and tell when these cars are running 180, 90 miles an hour. But when something like this happens, folks, it's easy to tell just how fast we're running.
And one more angle now.
Well, he's already on his roof there and rolling over as the other cars come in on him now. Darrell Waltrip going by on the outside. And you can see Dave Marcus in car number 71 hit him pretty hard there.
And again, once you get onto the grass, the car really will begin to slow.
Well, these cars are built very well.
Got together just a little bit, and then again, and it turned Lake right into the wall, and the car started rolling almost immediately. All the cars behind him started dicing for position, trying to get out of the way. Smoke was blinding them as they went in there, and many of them got involved.
And here is an excellent view of the incident by Rusty Wallace's car. You can see all kinds of things fly.
6.5. We think that it just stacked up on the banking, but we think we're ready to go.
Well, they are indeed ready to go. We'll have to see if
Oh, we have a crash. Darrell Waltrip spins to the grass on the restart. Boy, you knew something was going to happen because they were coming down 4 abreast once again, and something had to give, and Darrell got the... And is going to try everything in his power here in the last 5 laps to keep the lead, but Davey Allison now moves above. Mark Martin and Allison grabs the lead.
And Bill Elliott comes with him on the outside. Yeah, I wonder, is he out of gas?
I think he's just out of the draft.
No, I believe he's...
Maybe he is.
I believe he's...
Yes, he's out of gas.
Oh, what a tough break for Mark Martin.
Yeah.
He begins to fall back badly now.
Trying to get by Morgan Shepherd. Desperately trying to get by. Unable to that time.
We watch out the rear windshield of the Davey Allison car. Morgan Shepherd and Bill Elliott's battle. There are less than 2 laps to go in the Pepsi 400.
And Morgan stays about a half a car width lower in the turns than does Davey Allison. His car is really working. Let's watch him when he goes into turn 3. Davey opens up a little distance on the straightaway, but when they go into the turns, Davey's going to go a little bit high. Well, this time he keeps it down lower than he's been. He perhaps looked in his rearview mirror and saw where Morgan Shepherd was making up that time. Morgan moved right back up on him as they come around now to get the white flag.
Harold Kinder has the white flag in hand, and he waves it for Davey Allison and Morgan Shepherd and Bill Elliott and Bill Parsons. They're on the last tour of the 2.5-mile trioval at Daytona in the Pepsi 400. It is Allison that is staying out front by about a car length over Morgan Shepherd as Bill Elliott falls back just a little in 3rd position. They come out of the 31 degrees of banking and down the flat backstretch for the final time, and they pass by Darrell Waltrip, who was successful here at this racetrack in February in the Daytona 500. Now, the cars set themselves into turn number 3, and Davey's wife,
That's
Morgan's wife, is just hoping and praying everything she has that Morgan can pull out the victory. Let's see, we have a battle for 3rd position. The win is going to be by Davey Allison. He crosses the stripe and wins. Morgan is 2nd, and Bill Parsons, I believe, got 3rd at the